Hey guys, today Tana asked me to read you a new story. It's called The Invisible Boy, and it's written by Trudy Ludwig. And Tana asked me to choose this story because I've been working hard from home recently, and I think sometimes Tana feels a little bit invisible. And when I say invisible, I don't mean like he's can't be seen at all, but I think invisible as in he feels like nobody's really paying attention to him. So he thought today The Invisible Boy would be a good choice. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Oh, look, you see? You really can't see Brian. Oh dear, I think Tana's going invisible by looking away. Nathan has problems with what Mrs. Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. Yeah. When the bell rings for recess, Mika and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. And I can see from his face, he really wants to be included. Right, love? Uh-oh, it doesn't look like he gets chosen. JT glances in Brian's direction and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. Lunchtime, that's a really hard time if you feel invisible. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pole was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did except Brian. He wasn't invited. I guess that's how Tana has been feeling recently. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. And look, here's the dragon on the building. And the dragon is saying, "Thank you for toasting my marshmallows." Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles. And the alien says, "I got you now." Greedy pirates digging for treasure. And the pirate says, "Crackers, arr!" Yay! Oh, and I see Superman down here, or something that looks like Superman. It says, "And superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go." Hi. Hi, friend. Have a cookie? I wonder who this is. I noticed that Brian's got a bit of color now. On Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. Oh, and here we go, back for lunchtime again. Lunchtime when you're the new kid, that's really hard. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. "What's that?" asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. "It's bulgogi." Bull what? Oh, Tanner, I hope I said that word right. That's a new word for me. But here he is with his chopsticks. Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? No way I'd eat bulgogi. Oh, that sounds really mean. And I notice that Brian sees what's going on. And the kids laugh, all of them except, that is, Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. Tanner, do you have an answer to that question? Yeah, no, that's a hard one to answer. And here's Justin in class the next day, and it looks like he's got a note. And it says, the next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. And the note says, Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian. And here's a picture of Brian. And there's the food, and he says, yum, and he's holding chopsticks. Oh, and now we're going for recess. That's another tough time when you're invisible. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. And Justin says, you're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. And you notice what's happened here? Brian's got some color. Hey, Justin, Emilio calls out from the tetherball court. You're up next. Sorry, gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he adds, before taking off. Now we're back in class, and look, Brian's lost his color again. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asks the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads toward Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Oh, that's why he lost his color. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Mrs. Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio. Let him work with us. Okay, I guess. Oh, so Justin stood up for Brian. And look, Brian's getting some color back. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is work together to write a story about what you see in the photograph. Use your imagination to have fun. And there's the photograph. Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in a house like that? Oh, you want to see? Okay, Tana saw the picture too. I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. And you notice? I think that's the first time we've seen Brian with all of his colors. So here they are working together. And they're still working. And then here they are doing their presentation for the class. And I think those are all Brian's pictures. At lunchtime again. It's Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Yeah, those are tough times. Brian! He hears someone shout. Hey, Brian, over here! Brian turns and Justin is waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. And Justin, this will break my school rules, offers him a cookie. And Brian says thanks. Maybe, just maybe, Brian isn't so invisible after all. Well, that's the end of that story. The Invisible Boy. Tanner, did you like that story? I think he's ready for a bit of a nap now. I hope you had a good time today. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe.